Welcome to A Word from the Word for October 20th. Today's passage, Habakkuk 1 through 3. Today's key verse, Yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will take joy in the God of my salvation. Habakkuk chapter 3 verse 18. Today's word from the Word, rejoice in the Lord.
Many people find it easy to rejoice in their circumstances, especially when those circumstances are pleasant and prosperous. Their happiness derives from external factors such as wealth, health, social status, relationships, and achievements. Their individual sense of happiness and fulfillment is closely tied to these outward markers of success and abundance. But what happens when those circumstances turn sour and life's inevitable challenges arise? In Habakkuk 3:17, the prophet vividly describes a bleak picture of his sour circumstances. He portrays a scenario where the fig tree does not blossom, the vines yield no fruit, the olive crop fails, the fields produce no food, the flock is cut off from the fold, and there are no cattle in the stalls. This imagery depicts a complete collapse of the agricultural economy, which was the backbone of ancient Israelite society. Each element mentioned, fig trees, vines, olive trees, fields, flocks, and livestock, symbolizes prosperity, sustenance, and security. When these failed, it signified a profound deprivation and loss, leaving the people destitute and vulnerable. It was in this situation that the prophet makes the most astounding statement. In verse 18, the prophet declares, "Yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will take joy in the God of my salvation." Habakkuk had learned one of the deepest spiritual lessons of life. He learned to rejoice in God despite his circumstances. Rejoicing in God involves finding joy, satisfaction, and fulfillment in God Himself, whether our circumstances are pleasant or difficult. This type of rejoicing stems from a deep understanding of God's character, His love, His faithfulness, and His salvation. It reflects a relationship with God based on trust and intimacy. This life of joy and rejoicing is not contingent upon favorable circumstances or material blessings. It transcends temporal realities and remains steadfast even in the midst of trials, suffering, and adversity. Life can turn painful at any turn. A young father may lose his job. A child may become terminally ill. A relationship may turn to pain and struggle. Bank accounts can be drained. Prosperity may flee. As Christ followers, make it your aim to prioritize and cultivate an inner joy that emanates from your relationship with God, not from the uncertainties and fluctuations of life's circumstances. While it is not always possible to rejoice in your situation, you can always rejoice in the God of your salvation. May the Lord grant you this type of deep rejoicing as you look to Him alone for your joy, and may you live out the call of Philippians 4:4. Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I will say, rejoice.
Thanks for joining us for today's word from the Word. Please take a moment to like, subscribe, and hit that notifications bell